We are standing on our vessel Brave Turn in the port of Bremerhaven, loading at the moment. And we are working on the Global Tech 1 offshore wind farm in the German Bight. Global Tech 1 wind farm is an offshore wind farm of 80 turbines, 5 megawatt each, 400 megawatt in total. This particular project is a transport and installation contract, which means we have the full responsibility from picking up the components on the quayside, transport them to the field and install them offshore. And we have defined something which is called mechanical completion, which means we are doing all the bolting connections, attaching the cables. We have 2 vessels on this project. One is Brave Turn, which we are on board now. For the moment, Brave Turn is installing towers and nacelles. Bold Turn, the other vessel, which is actually a sister vessel of Brave Turn, is installing rotor stars on the same turbines. By deploying 2 vessels, the client have much more flexibility and can really keep a much higher installation speed when the weather is good. We have a very flexible deck layout, meaning we can carry both towers and nacelles for single trips, and we can carry rotor stars for single trips without doing any changes of our deck layout. Typical installation time for the vessel is that we use 1.5 days in average, including loading, transport and installation. Fred Olsen is new in the offshore wind installation business, but we have a very long tradition within shipping. As a ship owner, we know that the vessels must move, things must go forward. That means if we meet any challenges, we try to solve them. We assist the client on moving the project forward. And I think that's part of our success in this business. We have a very close monitoring on the safety on the project. We have very strict regulation from our management, and we have a very high target for ourselves. Crew we have on the vessels are doing a fantastic job. They are very focused on safety. By having this extreme focus on this, we really know that we're going to get better every day.
After the wind starts to come down, we will start to rig the S3 tower. That'll take approximately 30 minutes. Then we'll proceed with the lift. We'll check the final check on the forecast, make sure everything's okay. Providing that's good, we'll get clearance from the bridge. We'll continue with the lifting operation. At the moment the forecast looks good for the afternoon, so it should be just a continuous cycle from the S3, the base tower, to the mid tower, the S2 tower, then finally the S1 and the nacelle. The S3 is approximately 193 tons. The S2 tower will be around 91.2 tons. The S1 is 87.5 approximately, and the nacelle will be around 234 tons. The reason behind leaving the lifting frame on the towers is twofold. The main reason is for speed. It just means during the installation we don't have to reattach and disassemble the rigging for every lift. That just gives us a little bit of extra time. Also, it does mean that there's less of a risk of dropped objects. So we don't have guys up there with tools at the top of towers trying to assemble the lifting brackets back on before each lift. The S3s, a lot of care has to be taken during initially getting it off the C-frame, and during installation also we'll have to be very careful. We'll have to take our time just to ensure that it lands correctly and the gaps in the flanges get closed without any damage. The S2, S1 towers, relatively straightforward. They lift quite level. We can get them up. It's a fairly straightforward operation. When it comes to the nacelle, the problem we have, these nacelles are quite large, so there's a great surface area to catch the wind. So we have to be very cautious about the wind direction, especially if we're lifting close to the limits of the wind on the lift plan. Here at Wind Carrier we have a barrier system where during the lifting operations the deck will be barriered off. The area we're lifting in will be closed off completely. No one is allowed entry to this area unless they have taken part in the toolbox talk and they are familiar with what is actually planned for the afternoon. We also make it a point of letting the lift supervisor or the deck foreman know who is coming and going from the deck, so we can account for all personnel at all times during lifting operations, so we know where everyone is and we can monitor their safety also.
dimension of the blade is 57 meters and the full diameter of one rotor is 116 meters. The total weight of a rotor is 117 tons, the hub and the three blades here. It's a tricky operation. Then for this you need this tilting traverse. That means that you have to take off in the horizontal position and then you have to turn it up to 90 degrees that you can install to the nacelle.
Fred Olsen Wind Carrier, as far as I'm concerned, have been a great asset to this project, been great to work with. They're very efficient, very skilled, highly trained, very focused on getting the job done, and that's all backed up with a great health and safety ethic, both on the vessel and on the beach. The backup is very good as well. We know we're going to experience problems whilst during any installation. It's a real yardstick of a team, how they deal with that problem. Out here, there's no panic. We can come away, we can discuss the problem, and it's managed very properly and efficiently. Everything is very focused, everything is led by health and safety. Nothing gets done without being signed off, and without every person knowing exactly what they need to be, where they need to be, and what they need to be wearing, and what that job and task is. They also get great support from the beach, I've found as well. You know, there's certain questions that arise here, and you can't answer all the questions on this vessel. And so sometimes you have to go back to the beach, and they seem to have great support from there as well. We're never waiting long for an answer, so that's great as well. From a health and safety point of view, very good.